Hello, everyone. It's me, Coffee Stitcher. It's May 5th, Revenge of the 5th. Happy late Star Wars Day to everybody. Wow, it's really bright back behind me today. Huh. It's normally not that bright. Interesting. I got a new coffee mug. It's a cauldron and it's got the Hogwarts symbol on it. How was everybody's week? It's really good to hear. I had a good week. I was off, as y'all know. That's interesting. Huh. Well, that's not good. I was going to do that. And apparently I'm going to be using a coaster for this mug. Alright, well, Alright, so how is everybody? Good. Thank you to everyone for the wonderful birthday wishes. They were greatly appreciated. I had a very nice birthday. I had a very nice week off. Didn't do hardly anything worthwhile. I did meet up with the two, with Kate and Katie on Tuesday. We did not do a video because we ended up not going to lunch. Because we sat around and discussed Harry Potter stuff at a table. And then Katie had to go pick up her kids, so we did not do lunch out, which that's fine. We had a good time all around. So I've got stuff to show you. Oh. No, I showed that last week, so that I don't need to show. There is some, train of thought slipped. There's obviously some haul. There will be some haul again next week, too. Yes. So, without further ado, we're gonna dive right on in here. And we'll do the Q&A, and then I'll show off my haul. Gotta kind of organize it a little bit better than I initially did. Okay, there we go. Oh crap, I left one piece in the kitchen. Let me go grab that real quick. Not in the kitchen, but on the dining room table. Okay, so now I'm back. Sorry about that. I've been bad about that lately. All right, so we'll dive into the Q&A. There's not a lot of Q&A this week. And then we'll do the haul, and then we'll do the whip updates, and we will go from there. All right, so again, thanks to everyone for the birthday wishes. Magic Pond Crafts has a couple of questions for me. The first, out of all your finishes, whips, and stash, which one is your husband's favorite if he has one? Of my finishes, his favorite, I think, is my Rocky Horror one that I did for him for his birthday. That was back in 2016. So I think that's my favorite of the finishes. Generally, most of my whips he likes. He thinks they're pretty, or he'll say, "Oh, I really like that one." So I don't really think he has a particular favorite per se, but I know of the finished ones, the Rocky Horror one is probably his absolute favorite. Her next question, what do you like to do the most while stitching? Watching FlossTube, listening to radio or podcasts, stitching in silent, watching TV, or something else? If I'm home by myself, a lot of the times, the TV won't be on. Um, and it'll just be me stitching. Um, Typically, there's TV on in the background that I'm watching or half watching, or a movie that I'm watching or half watching. Um, Sometimes, if he's got something that he's really invested in watching and I could care less about, I'll put on headphones and listen to either music or sometimes an audiobook, or I kind of have fallen off of podcasts. Um, but generally there's at least something going on. I don't really watch FlossTube um, because he's not a big fan. He finds the sound quality too distracting. Um, so FlossTube doesn't generally get watched. So, um, let's see. Jasmine Ravenclaw asks, in all of your Oz objects that you possess, what is your favorite one and why? Um, and there's actually two. I guess technically it's three. One of them and I can't really get at them to show y'all. One is a poster for a animated version of Wizard that didn't happen. That's super rare. It's signed by the artist, and I got it back at OzCon. The other is this really cool pair of bookends that that G got me, that the Smithsonian put out in 2000 for the anniversary. And on one side is Dorothy and the Scarecrow, and the other side is the Tin Man and the Lion. And I really like them. And they currently hold up my vintage set of Bond books. Amy Kilburn asks, I'm kitting up something that requires a fairly large piece of fabric. Do you know that Sells Fabric would be able to assist me in finding the right piece? You might try 123 Stitch if you're just needing like a solid color and you're needing a very large piece. They're going to be the cheapest route. You could also reach out to some hand dyers and see what they would be. What they can do, but they usually have a set price for large pieces. If it's a weird shape, sometimes they'll do something different. But 123 might be, pardon me, your best bet on that. Boop. I've got to hit the show more, sorry. Robin B, I did not get the list of Krynic that's being discontinued, I think, directly, but I think it was listed on the Brooks Books group. And it had like a list of alternatives, so that was at least good to know. Let's see, Donna Levitt, that's good to know that basically shepherd's pie and cottage pie are more of an area of personal choice and experimentation. When I make it, I actually make one that's a cheeseburger shepherd's pie, and it's got ground beef and corn still, but that's kind of where, and the mashed potatoes on top, but that's kind of where the similarities end. Charles and Michelle Fisher. Well, obviously I showed you this one this week. But yes, I can definitely try to show off the coffee mugs. I tend to rotate through a set rotation. Not like a specific rotation, but I don't tend to vary too much in the ones I use. But I will definitely try to show them off. Let's see, Marilli says, I'm going to start my first Mirabilia. Do you have any tips or some tutorial or video? I don't. There are some good Mirabilia tutorial videos out there. I strongly recommend making a working copy to mark off. Partially because I didn't do that with Seaside Kingdom like I should have, and there were a couple of points where moving back and forth across the folds that I started losing some of the symbols. I was able to guess at them, but not something I would recommend to anyone on a regular basis. So definitely make a working copy. And mark off as you go. Let's see. Okay, Jennifer Manian says, I'm Armenian and we get a lot of lamb, eat a lot of lamb. We get it from specialty meat stores. Oh, that's good to know. She says she ordered a Carolyn Manning quilt design that calls for GA sampler. Is that is that some specialty thread for Gentle Arts? Gentle Arts has two lines. 99.999% of the time when you're in an LNS or online, they're going to merge them both together because there's literally no rhyme or reason to it. The previous owner of my LNS, when I first started out, told me that. She said, I actually asked him one time, and he said, no, we just sort of put things where we put things. It's sort of this general idea seems to be the shaker colors are more muted than the samplers, but that's not always the case. But really, if it says Gentle Arts Sampler or Gentle Arts Shaker, they're both Gentle Arts. There's nothing special about about one over the other. They're both going to be cotton flosses. There is a Gentle Arts wool that's obviously wool and not cotton, but it'll generally state wool if you need that. But yeah, that's Gentle. If you see Sampler, if you see Shaker, and it's got the GA in front of it, that's all going to be Gentle Arts. Got to hit show more again. I really hate that it doesn't just keep loading as I scroll. All right, Deborah Rodriguez is wondering if I would do the Pokemon pattern. No, probably not. I think the sprite designs are awesome. I'm all for anyone who likes doing that, but I get bored with that. That's a little too much solid fill for my taste. It's the same reason why, as much as I would really love to do the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time map, I would never do it because it's too much solid fill. That said, there is a Legend of Zelda design that I have that I like, and one day I will start it. Maybe. We'll see. Let's see. Gently Dreaming ASMR asks, do you stitch holding the Q-snap, or do you have a stand? I have a stand. I let it hold it, unless it's a 6x6, and then this, because that's so small, I can't, I find that it's more clunky for me to use the stand than it is for me to just hold it in hand. So a 6x6 I hold in hand. Obviously at lunch I don't take my stand with me, so I hold it in hand there. But I use the stand for everything else. Dee Dee Rose has a question, has sort of a combined multiple questions on the same general topic. Is there a particular reason you picked Gentle Arts for your nest egg from Trisha over her other offerings? Is Gentle Arts a nicer thread to work with? The main reason I picked it was I was already close to to having all of the Gentle. Well, let me back up. When she first started it, and I was doing the nest egg, I actually did Weeks Dye Works because alphabetically where I was, and she was starting at the beginning alphabetically, and I had all of those, and so it was silly for me to start Gentle Arts. And at the time, my LNS was having a lot of trouble stocking them. They were trying to rebuild from having been closed for so long. So I was doing Weeks. Well, then financially I needed to drop Nest Egg. So when I picked it back up, she had caught up basically to where I was alphabetically, so I went back to Gentle Arts because I like the 10-yard skeins. I prefer Gentle Arts. I find it tangles less than Weeks or Classic Colorworks. So Gentle Arts is my favorite of them. Now, that being said, I've used enough of the other ones. The only one I really don't like is Valdani. When we get to the end of the alphabet with Gentle Arts, then I'm going to start with the Gentle Arts wool. And then once I've done that, I will switch back over and, and part of the other reason was Gentle Arts, she could get a little cheaper than my LNS could. Price-wise, she's about the same for everyone else, but her Gentle Arts is like 10 cents cheaper. So once Gentle Arts and Gentle Arts wool is done, then we'll figure out what I'm going to do from there. I think my plan will probably be to switch over to Threadworks, because I really enjoyed working with Threadworks on my Owl Forest. But I may also do Classic Colorworks. We'll see. So hopefully that answers your question. Let's see. All right, and that takes me to the end of the Q&A. So, all right, this one looks like it's going to be a longer video. All right, let's keep going. So, for haul, first I got this adorable needle minder from Kate. Okay, there's too much light. Let's do that. It's really hard to tell. There we go. But it's me and Carol Channing. So it's my picture, which, if you follow me on Facebook, oh, that's better. If you follow me on Facebook, that's currently my profile photo. That's from when I met her. I know I posted it on Instagram when she passed. So she made me a Carol Channing needle minder, which will have to go on some sort of very, very special project. All right, so next, Katie was destashing. So I got a handful of things. First, I got, and this is a Told in the Garden. I don't know what it's called, though. But I liked it. Oh, Amish Quilt Sampler. So that's what it looks like. Yeah. So I got that. I got a whole bunch of magazines that I'm not going to show you because that just would be silly. I got this one. It's a Shepherd's Bush. Called Summer Song Sampler. And it's an actual kit. And it's an old shepherd's bush, so I can't get you any sort of better picture than that. Let's see. Several Elizabeth's designs. There we go. This one called Forest's Song. Love Grows Here. And this one called Garden Samplers. It's 3 different designs. I like that one. That was the main reason I got it. Or I picked that one. This one from Cannes Creations called Autumn Blessing, which has lots of really cool specialty stitches in it. I'm sorry I can't get you closer to it. It says, "To Everything is a Season." A Dimensions kit of the Lord is My Shepherd, Psalm 39, I think? 23rd, excuse me. So that. All right, and that ends the stash from her. So then I got the new Gentle Arts, the 4 new colors. 2 of them I'm sure I will get again from Trisha, but I went ahead and got them now. So there's Grape Fizz, Something Blue, Tortoiseshell, and Adzuki. Grape Fizz is obviously variegated purples. Something Blue is sort of a cream and blue mix. Tortoiseshell is mostly browns with some greens. And Adzuki is brown with some red running through it. And then I also got Green Tea Leaf, which I didn't have and I thought might be new, but turns out isn't new. And it's just brown with green. I also got Aqua from Weeks Dye Works, but it's in another bag because I had to put it with something I'd already kitted up. And then I got this nice piece of watercress, 28 count linen. It's an 8x26 piece. I don't know what I'll use it for, but I have it anyways. Nope. Alright, then I got some patterns, one of which I've already kitted up fully, one of which I've partially kitted up. So the first one I got was this one from the Sampler Company. It's called Plant Wisdom Sampler. And I was all set to start it, but then I realized I don't actually have fabric big enough, so that's going to have to wait until I get some fabric for it. But there it is, and I really liked it. Then I got from Annie B's Folk Art, Count Your Blessings. And it's fully kitted and ready to go. But I wasn't in the mood for a new start yet, so. And Count Your Blessings has been added to the actual whip list, so when it comes up on the wheel. Then I got this one. It's a 2-part pattern. It was a co-pattern with Ink Circles and Cherrywood Design Studios called Baltimore. And it goes together like that, which I thought was kind of cool. So, there was that. And then I got this one from Silver Creek. It's called Holy Moses. And it's got the story of Moses and the 10 Commandments and the parting of the Red Sea and him in the basket. And it says, high upon the mountain sod, Moses heard a voice of God. Holy Moses split the sea so the Israelites could go free. And then it says, the 10 Commandments for thee. Have no other gods but me. Before no idols bend thy knee. Take not the name of God in vain, nor dare the Sabbath day profane. Honor thy father and mother too. Take heed that thou no murder do. Resist all words and deeds unclean, nor steal thou though art poor and mean. Speak not a willful lie, or love it. What is thy neighbor's, do not covet. And then God said to Moses, go speak to Pharaoh, demanding he let my people go. And it's him got the different plagues. And then baby Moses set afloat in a tiny basket boat. And it's Moses in the basket. So, Kate had this one, and I just thought it was absolutely fantastic. It does call for one thread that I don't recognize. It's called, it's Cottage Colors, and it's Blessed Jesus, and I've never heard of that one. But it's, looks like it's the sky color up here in the sun. So, yeah. So that's it for the haul. And now we'll move on to the whip updates. So, on Sunday... She got over here? What the heck? What did I do with that one? Hold, please. So on Sunday, since Monday was going to be my was going to be the homework, I did Mirror Monday. I actually decided that for a little while I'm going to work on Mrs. Ladybug. I think I've burned myself a little on Woodland Fairy because I didn't want to really stitch on her that one week, and I really didn't want to stitch on her this week. So I think I'm going to switch over, just for now, to Miss Ladybug for Mirror Monday. So I worked on her, and I did the dark red. So got another round of her color done. All right. Then for the homework, which was Little Owl, where we worked on our smallest one, I didn't end up getting an FFO done, but I did at least get it finished. So I did Tales of Haunted Hollow by Sigrid Designs. So there it is. I left out some of the backstitching because it was too much backstitch. And it's got some issues where I miscounted and other things, but, you know, whatever, it's done. So there it is. I really like the little ghost. He was supposed to be attached to this, but it looked too much like he was hanging, and that seemed morbid to me. So, and it reminded me why I don't like using Weeks Dye Works linen, because it was so open. It's such an open weave. I made a handful of mistakes counting-wise because of it. So, but it be done. So I started and finished that on Monday. And then we're doing the Quidditch World Cup currently, which started Wednesday, and the first round was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So the second one is Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I've got today still. And it's basically you work on whatever you want to. You get a point for every 100 stitches you put in. And whichever team gets the most points wins that match. So the first round was Slytherin and Gryffindor, and then Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff. We lost by literally 30 points to the Slytherins. And they caught the snitch, which I will say, the fact that they caught the snitch and we still came that close, that's the only reason why they won, was because they caught the snitch. So we caught it already for the second round. So we will hopefully beat the Hufflepuffs, which I know that's really my house, and I feel bad that we're going to beat them, but we're still going to beat them. Which means if we do, and then and the third round will be Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin, Hufflepuff. And then whichever teams have the most points go against each other in the finals. So, yeah. So we'll see. So we've got to get more stitches in. So I did work on With Thy Needle. I didn't do a lot of stitching on Wednesday. Well, I didn't do a lot on Tuesday, and I still really didn't on Wednesday. Probably because I was in a little bit of a finish hole. But I worked on With Thy Needle. I went ahead and finished out the pumpkins. So, and this is the one from Lila's studio. So, when I return to it, I'm going to work on more of it. That was kind of a dumb statement. So I worked on that. Let's see. And then after that, I worked on Great Cheshire Moon. And I got about 700 some odd stitches with this one, I think. And I finished out the page. So page 6 is done. So that was page 6. And then this is it as a whole. So we've got 3 pages left. No, this is page 5. So I've got 6, 7, and 8 left to do. So we're getting close to the end on this one, which is going to make me sad. I'm not going to lie. So, and I'm doing this one on Ship's Manor Silvery Moon with a conversion of Ship's Manor and Gentle Arts. Because there were a couple of colors that Ship's Manor didn't have that were close. See, then I got about 100 stitches in on Now You're in the World. What I'd wanted to do was get all of this middle part finished, so that way I've got kind of it divided in thirds. So the words are going to come at the end, but that means that I can take and go here over, oh, whoops, I just realized you can't see it. So I got this middle part done, so I've got here, and I've got here left. Which means I'm going to have a lot of fabric left on from this, but that's okay. So there we go. That's what I got done on it. And I'm doing my own sort of color, mixture of the called for colors and colors I picked. So... Alright, then I worked on Aurora. And I got like 800 some odd stitches out of this one. So I got her, I finally got that center panel done. So there it is. This is on Ariel by Picture This Plus. This, I'm not gonna lie, it's beautiful. I love it. But this is a little bit of a pain because it was so, not really confetti heavy per se. It was just so difficult to tell sometimes where you were going. So, and I know it looks like it's really pink here in the middle. It's actually a purple that's coming up very pink on camera. And then I worked yesterday on Nevermore, which is going to be my new work project until I finish the house. So I did this part of the house, so just got to do that side. And I'm using old purple paint for the house color. So, yeah. So that is it for now. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to work on yet today. We'll decide that after the video. But yeah. Anyhow, I guess that's it for me this week. I hope everyone has a fabulous week. And I will see you all next time.